Good morning. How y'all doing today? So I'm playing with today, trailer time. Now this was the trailer I built the houseboat on. It's on a single axle, 3,000 pound axle. I think it's a 3,500 pound axle. But the rating after the weight of the trailer, I can only hold 2,800 pounds. Before I built the interior, it was just the hull and the shell of the cabin. I went to do my test ride, and my axle was maxed out. I was about 3,000 pounds before adding the interior. So this little single axle is no longer going to do it. So I had a few options. I was looking at buying a nice used double axle for a 24-foot pontoon for $1,500, but the deal fell through after I spoke to the seller. He agreed to hold the trailer, which it didn't matter if he held it or not. I mean, I was gonna go get it. After I told him I wanted the trailer, it's exactly what I needed. He took measurements for me, 6 foot on centers to the outside bunks, but it was a 24-foot long double axle. It was a really nice trailer. It was in central Mississippi, about a 4-hour drive for me. Well, after I agreed that I wanted it, he wasn't available the next day for me to go pick it up, so we agreed on 3 days later, which would have been a Tuesday, for me to go pick up the trailer and pay him and do the notary. Well, the night I made the agreement with him, he went and changed the price to $1,800, which was still a good deal, but I didn't like the fact that he changed the price after we agreed on $1,500. And I sent him a message. I said, "Hey man, what's up with the price change? Still selling me $1,500?" And he said, "No, $1,500 was the accidental price. The price is $1,800. You want it, it's $1,800. And I said, "You know, cool deal." Sent him a thumbs up. And when it came Tuesday for me to go pick it up, he's like, "Hey, you coming?" I was like, "Nope, not unless it's $1,500. And he said, "No, the price is $1,800. I wish him luck with the sale." That was a couple weeks ago. Actually, it's more like a month and a half ago. And you know, my Tuesday deadline passed to go pick up the trailer, and by Wednesday he had it marked back down to $1,500. So I think he was just trying to get more money out of me because I messed up and told him that was the trailer I needed. I gotta have it. So when you buy it on Marketplace, don't let the seller know you really need it. Which, I mean, they already know you need it because you inquired about it. And I didn't leave him a bad rating or anything. I don't really care what his rating is. You don't do people like that. Had he contacted me and said, "Hey, look, after we agreed on $1,500, but I spoke to him on the phone and mentioned $1,500, and he said, "Yeah, that's good." But had he been honest and told me, "Hey, look, I made a mistake in the price, it's going to be $1,800," it was worth it. The trailer was worth it. It had 4 new tires on it, new winch, new bearings, and it has 0 rust on it, fresh paint job. It was worth $1,800 or more. It was the principle of changing the price and acting like it's okay, that I'm gonna be okay with it. I wasn't. So back to the houseboat. I need a double axle trailer. I picked up a trailer and came with a free boat that I didn't want, but it was the only way to get the trailer. This trailer is the same length as that one, but it has double axle. I'm going to add 2 foot of length onto the frame. I had trouble with my welding machine. I started welding my bunk guards. More importantly, I had to place the 2 rear ones to get my 6 foot center from my outsides. Once I knew where I had to be, I had to make some offset brackets, 1.5 inch pipe, maybe 2-inch pipe. Let's just say 1.5 inch pipe. I offset half, and that puts my center at exactly 6 feet. This frame is 6 feet to the outside of the frame rails, whereas that frame is 6 foot in the center. So I had to compensate. And tires, I've got tires ordered. But when I went to pick up this trailer, it had about a 3,000 pound boat on it. They advertised it needs 2 tires, you know, come get it. It was free. All this was free. So I drove about 1.5 hours. I brought 2 tires. When I get there, this tire was no good, and neither was the other tire that was on. So I brought 2 brand new tires with me. I'm glad I did, but man, I fought in that lady's yard getting this trailer out because The old hubs have the studs, and I hate the studs. The number one problem with the studs, water gets trapped between the hole in the rim, and it eats up the stud. Like I got a few right here. See how there's less material right behind the bevel? So what happens when you try to break them loose, they break. Now, this rear axle didn't have all the studs in both the rear axle. It only had tires on the front when I went to pick it up. Well, on the front, as I was taking the bad tire off, this was the hub. I broke 2 studs, so I towed it all the way home on just 3. The other side, I didn't break any, but I only had 3 studs on that wheel to start with. Inside the boat was a couple other studs, so I wound up having enough studs to put a full set on the rear axle, and I towed it home. Now, once I got there, I got home, I got the boat off, I started making my measurements and seeing what I had to do to modify. I pulled the fenders off. I can't use the fenders for my application. I was going to repair these hubs, so I picked up another trailer for scrap. I cut it up, I pulled the hubs off. This is the same style stud hub. So I put the hub off of that axle right here. Went and bought some brand new studs. They had like 15 bucks for 5 of them. I bought 2 sets because at that point all I needed was studs for the 2 fronts. I got rims and tires are coming in the mail. That way I have 4 tires and rims good to go. Well, yesterday I decided, well, I'm gonna run my tap through all these threads, because when I did put these tires on, I had a rough time getting these on. What you know, the first one I go to undo snaps. So I wound up undoing this one, and this one. I tapped it, put it, and reinstalled them. When I got to this one, this was locked up, it's not moving. And I put this on with a hand wrench, and I can't remove it with a hand wrench or an impact. It started to twist, so I left it. So if I continue with this one, I'm gonna have 2 broken studs. So my best option, I didn't want to do it. It's worth it. I went to Napa. I spent about 300 bucks. I bought 2 brand new hubs, 2 brand new ones. I bought Baron Buddies, and I picked up another axle. It's a nearly new axle. Someone hit a parking stop, a Walmart parking lot, and it bent the stub right here. But the hubs were in nice shape. So I wound up taking those 2 hubs off of that axle, and I put it on this side. So I have 2 good hubs on this side with Barons and Baron Buddies from that donor axle that someone was throwing away. And my 2 brand new hubs I bought are going to go on that side. They're both black, so I have black hubs on that side. Now, the tires I ordered are the same size as this, 205, 75, 14. And I have two matching galvanized rims. One's here, one's in my trailer. My Harbor Freight tire changing machine. I'm waiting for the tires to come in so I can put the tires on. Then, hopefully, by tomorrow, I'll be sitting on all 4 wheels with good hubs. And my welding machine, I had to order a new welding machine. It was quite a story and an adventure trying to weld. I have 3 welding machines that can capable of welding with steel. One's a Miller I use for aluminum. I went to convert it over to steel. You can really see that bent axle this direction. Anyway, my Miller set up for aluminum. I use that as a backup for steel. I have a reliable Lincoln I bought in 2005. Gave me about 20 years of good service. And I guess the transformer went out. It doesn't burn hot enough anymore. So I replaced the Lincoln last year with a used Hobart. A buddy of mine bought a Hobart, used it a few times, and sat in his shop for 5 years. But a Hobart, when I got it, when you power it on, you have to grab the feed rheostat and you have to turn it a few times, and then it holds true and it welds perfect. Well, when I went to weld with it 2 days ago, the feed was the feed by itself would crank up all the way and go down, crank up all the way and go down, so you couldn't make a reliable weld. Sometimes you can get the work right, sometimes you couldn't. I got fed up with it. I had enough. I pushed it to the side. I went and borrowed my dad's stick machine with some LH rods he had. Now the LH rods he had were old, and as you can see, it's not pretty. I was having problems with the LH rod. I would stick it, one side of the rod would be burning, but not the other side. So I would roll the whip to get the heat on both metals, and then the rod, it would start welding good, and then it would just start burning on the other side, and it would stop burning on this side. So I figured the rods were damp. I had nothing but trouble welding this on. I was trying to do this all with LH, and look, I'm a good welder. This is not welds to be proud of at all. It wasn't working out, so I continued to fight with the Hobart, and with the Hobart I was able to get some decent welds, but the feed was inconsistent. It would go fast, slow, fast and slow, fast and slow. It was just very hard to weld with it. So at that point I figured I stopped, and I ordered me a welding machine. Walmart online had a little, like a 200 amp MIG welder. It's a stick MIG combo. It's called a 3-in-1. I think I could do TIG on steel too, but you use your combo machines. It does good at one thing, but not everything. So as long as it does good on MIG, that's what I need it for. That welding machine comes in today, but with the weather, I don't think I'll be getting welding done today. But I need to finish my guides. I did get rid of the cross braces. They had some V braces. It's called a drop braces. That's what was in the center of this. I opted to go with some 2 1/4. I forget the schedule, but it's 1/4-inch thick wall piping. I added one here, one in the middle, one there, and I'm gonna have to add one more across the front because my guides, similar to that trailer, my guides will go past the curve on the frame. So on this trailer, you see I added a 2x6 because that's what I had. It worked out perfect. The original guides only came to here, and when I pulled the houseboat all the way up, once that the lip of the first barrel dropped off the rail, it was very difficult to launch because then you got to lift the weight of the boat over to get it over. So now my barrel stop about right here, and this is just extra unused, but the barrel stops here. That will never go over. I'm gonna do the same thing in that trailer. These guides are 16 foot long. That trailer is gonna have 20-foot guides. It's gonna give me more support. And if you're not familiar with barrels, this is the lip I was talking about. Once this slides over the bunk, it drops, and you go to launch it, it jams up until you raise the front up. I'm not gonna have that issue. And my other trailer, my guide stopped about right here, leaving me 3/4 of the barrel hanging off. So now my guide's gonna go almost to the full length, if not the full length of the barrel. And I'm also considering, not sure yet, this will be a later update, I'll have to go to a Teleflex steer and redo my transom, but I'm thinking about adding another barrel on each side. It's gonna add another, I don't know, 8-10 inches of length. I really would like to push the motor back a little further, but I have to make sure my shift cables have enough length for me to get the motor a little further back. That would give me an extra about 450 pounds of flotation on the rear. So that's something I'm considering. Right now my focus is trailer. I still didn't do much on the inside. My last video I worked on the shower, and I can show you a little bit of that, but I haven't touched the houseboat in about 6 days. I did remove my clamps, trim my plastic flush with the shower, where I got that nice smooth radius. I'm going to build a wooden trim piece to go all the way down on both sides, cap off the shower. Still got to come back, get rid of this permanent marker. I got a few stains on it I need to get off. Like on the camera, you see the light spots and dark spots. That's in the plastic. It's not a ripple. It's actually smooth. You know, there's really nothing I can do about it. I thought it was maybe it was the light casting shadows, but it's not. I mean, it is in some spots. I mean, that feels perfectly smooth. You see that dark spot right there? that's in the plastic itself. So yeah, but I'm happy with it and not complaining. It came out very nice. The shower is operational once I put the faucet and my trim piece and the curtain. Shower's good to go. But yeah, I haven't worked on this in about 5 days. I did have a few people come look at it, you know, just out of curiosity, interested in it. But yeah, my main concern is trailer, getting the trailer going, because it's hurricane season and I'm having a surgery at the end of this month, July. I'm gonna be out for a couple of weeks. What I don't want is to have this on blocks and a storm comes through and I can't do anything about it. So my goal right now is to focus on a trailer, get the trailer built and ready, and I could drop this off of the blocks, put it on the trailer. If a storm does come, I could put some anchors in the ground. I could block the trailer up because I don't want as little rocking as possible, because the straps, if it rocks, is gonna chafe my poor man's fiberglass, which I can put something on there to help with that. But I plan on putting the trailer underneath. If a storm comes, I'll block up the trailer, put some 4 anchors, throw straps over it, and hope for the best. So yeah, I'll update more when I got more. But that's what I have going on. My priority is trailer. Thank y'all for viewing. I'll see y'all on the next one.